most uncomfortable truth of female nature possible. Women routinely give S3X to men who do not commit. Women who don't protect their S3 sexuality, these women categorize men. So just like how you potentially categorize a girl, you're like, oh, that's wife material, that's girlfriend material. They do the same thing. Women routinely withhold the S3X from men who do commit. You can literally go and get the best boyfriend award. If this guy over here, if he calls her at 2 in the morning, there's a very high chance that she'll still drive over just to sleep with him. So what do? You cannot commit to promiscuous women. Oftentimes what you're gonna see, guys, they sleep with the wrong woman, they get committed, they get attached to her, they ignore the red flags, they ignore the past, they're left heartbroken, jaded, and confused why they're getting mistreated. Don't let this be you.
You might have taken the red pill many years ago, and once you did, although it felt bitter, it liberated you. That's the raw truth. The reality slaps you in the face and wakes you up as a consequence. The beauty of it is that you end up enjoying the decision because while other men get wrecked in divorce, and even during relationships, you're well off, happy, and with all your money for yourself. A pretty good deal if you ask me. Men have a biological imperative to expand, procreate, and conquer, but nowadays the quality of women is low. And the mere thought of dealing with a woman who wants you to handle her is disappointing. Why do many people still wonder why the red pill has grown so much? Men are finally waking up to the true nature of women, so instead of just accepting what Disney says about relationships, red pill men stay grounded and realistic. However, Destiny, with his blue hair, decided to take the blue pill and become a beta. Look at this.
Outside of worshiping God, the next thing is having a family.
Right.
Really?
So, right?
That's how you make God happy.
Yeah. So whether you're an atheist or you're religious, etc., it seems to me that procreating is at the top of the totem pole. If you're an atheist, it's procreating. If you are religious, it's God, then procreating, which is right there, right?
Right.
So with that said, creating life, what makes a man's chances increase to procreate? I'll answer it. Acquiring status, resources, being attractive. Fair? Can we all agree on that?
Trinity. No, data-wise, you're just wrong.
What?
Like, poor men have more kids than wealthy men. You're just wrong. I know you say I can try, but like you can Google the numbers right now. You're just wrong.
No.
The best in the village.
I didn't say what is actually going to lead to. I said what increases your chances.
How can it increase your chance if it doesn't actually do it? Or what is that? What do you base it on?
It would be the highest level of trinity of status, network, and looks in the fucking village. Like Melina chose you from all the fucking nerds. She chose you because you have the most network, looks, and fucking status, you dumb fucking liberal
guy, thank you for saying that. If there's a guy that's pursuing that trinity of things and another guy's just trying to fucking have as many kids as possible, the guy that's fucking have as many kids as possible is always going to have more kids than the wealthy.
But remember, again, this goes back to creating life and increasing your likelihood of mating. As a man, acquiring status, resources, competence, etc., is going to secure your ability at a higher likelihood of getting a better mate, being able to stay with that mate long term, and most importantly, getting more than just one woman because men want quantity. Right? Acquiring status, resources.
Yeah, I understand.
It's like important for increasing your chances of finding a mate.
Sure, it's a fun theory, but number-wise, none of that exists in reality. Poor men have more baby mamas. Poor men have more children. Poor men have a higher likelihood to pass their genes on. Isn't this just the point of like idiocracy of the movie?
They
Like,
cannot sustain and maintain a.
they don't need to sustain and maintain.
Destiny, which of the poor? The highest status.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish my point here, okay? Because it still doesn't change the fact that it increases a man's likelihood of mating, acquiring these things, which is why, right? Men get a natural benefit and happiness because you mentioned before, you guys built up this podcast. It makes you feel good. The reason why men chase resources and status is because that leads to respect, that leads to fulfillment, because men are fulfilled when they create something. That's why men are builders. That's why men are overwhelmingly inventors. They create infrastructure, etc. Men are fulfilled from creating things. Women, however, are fulfilled from creating children. That's why women, right? Women don't get the same satisfaction from building something. They don't get the same satisfaction from career, earning income, etc. They get more satisfaction from having children. Even the women on the panel, successful hairdressing salon, etc., they pick their kids. Why? They pick their kids because they know that my duty as a woman is to be attractive so I can find the highest status man that I can and have children with that man. So what I'm saying is that women get their benefit from biological sense. They get their fulfillment from having a family. If they want to have a career, that's cool, but it's never going to fulfill them to the same extent that it will for a man, because when a man is fulfilled with a career, his mating options increase. When a woman is fulfilled by being attractive and having a man, she's successfully done her mating strategy.
Look, Destiny got a hot whore because he's got money and fans. He's surprisingly desired by many women, so Malene dumped her boyfriend and chose him. However, Destiny dares to say that poor men have more kids, so Myron's argument about the criteria men need to get women is wrong. Well, try being a homeless dude and get women. I'm sure you'll get no women, and only a few pennies, if at all. Men get free once they get their lives in order by making money, getting jacked, and providing value to society. That's why men run the electric grid, water plants, and all the amenities many take for granted. Men are creatures of expansion, and women are creatures of absorption. If women don't get it, they can just think of Genghis Khan, who probably had a very high body count and has left a mark in history. However, promiscuous women are not valued because they literally can destroy empires. Jezebel is nothing but an instance of it.
Because men and women are different. Women want quality, so how do I get quality? I be attractive, keep myself young and fertile, get that man, bam, I secured his resources, I won, I have children with that man, I'm in a relationship, man wins, I have resource, I have status, I have this woman, but if I want to, I can spread my seed to other women because I have the ability to have quantity.
Why don't any of them do it?
Perfect.
Wait.
What was that?
What wealthy men don't go out and have a ton of kids, though. It like defeats your entire argument. If men are only pursuing these things because it gives them the option to procreate more,
They fuck a bunch of other women.
but they don't, and they don't have a
Yes,
lot of
they do.
kids. They literally don't. Higher body counts are on poor people. Like everybody
talking
knows
about
this.
today? Are you talking about today?
Today, yes.
Yeah, because there's birth control. We have contraception and birth control,
Yeah.
so men don't have to deal with the consequence of impregnating women.
Yeah, but even wealthier men don't have higher sexual partner count. There's no study, there's no research you could pull. Like we're totally off the facts at this point. Like I said, like it's like Nick's story. These are nice stories, but they don't map onto reality. They're just stories. If you look at the data, wealthy men aren't out here having sex with all these women. They're definitely not procreating with all these women.
Destiny says anything to win a debate. Poor men have more chances than successful ones? What the hell is wrong with this dude? The blue dye must be entering his brain. So the average dude with absolutely no clout is out fucking 6 feet Chad that earns 6 figures per month because the data says so? You cannot make this shit up. At this point, Destiny is just arguing just for the sake of it. Saying people have more children means they have more chances to procreate than the rich, is like saying poor people have more chances to buy food because they're fatter than the rich.
And if they wanted to, they could tell them to get a birth
But
control.
Destiny, common sense.
Common sense
Now,
is if you ask who has more kids, it's gonna be poor people.
mapping on a reality, maps a meaning over here. If I am like a multi-millionaire and I'm standing next to some homeless bum, who is going to have a higher chance of mating with a woman?
It's about who's choosing to.
Exactly. We're talking about chance, not choice.
But you're saying you pursue the chance in order to exercise the chance.
We're saying very simply, it's very simple. I know it's hard to understand. There's no source. Where's the source that says that
I do
tall
like that you
chads
fall
with
back
lots
on
of
emotion
money?
over fact because you
It's
can't
not,
win
it's
the
not
data
about
argument.
emotion.
It
It's
is.
just common
It's
sense.
an emotional argument.
It's just
I
common
can't argue
sense.
against the
Everybody
emotionalism.
watching can perfectly understand what
Really?
we're
They
talking
think
about.
that wealthy people have more children than
Wealthy
people?
people,
That's what everybody
women
understands.
are more accessible to wealthy people.
Wait a minute.
Then why do poor people have so many more children?
Because it's a different
Well,
lifestyle.
You think right now, I'm curious, and the wealthier countries in the world versus the
When
poor
you're talking
countries
about
in the
the poor
world,
people,
who's having more children?
Africa.
Really? But they're all
It's
poor.
RK
Why?
selection.
Why?
It's
First of all, it's not
selection. Very
RK selection.
simple.
That
Yes,
has to do
it
with
is.
investment in
It
offspring. That's not
absolutely
even
is.
true.
Yes,
No.
it is. Yep, it
It's
is. You can
not.
look up. There's a debate about it on YouTube. But
There's not a
that's
debate about it.
besides
There
the point.
are selected species and case-selected
It's
species.
very simple.
But it has nothing to do with the conversation right
If
now.
I'm rich versus a poor person, who has a higher chance of going to a bar and pulling a girl and taking her home?
Well, based on the data, it seems like the poor person that's spending all this time fucking does.
Okay, that's all I wanted was that
That's
answer.
great. And then we
based
look up-
on the data, the poor person.
Well, is
Okay.
data gay
Case
when it backs
closed.
me up, Nick?
It's
Mr.
gay when it's
Captain Virgin
retarded.
at 26?
It's gay
You
when
hate
it's
the data
retarded.
now?
Everyone raise your hand if you think the
I know that
person has a
upsets you.
higher
I'm sorry.
chance of
I can only
pulling
go
a
by the
woman.
numbers. That's all I can
But
read.
that's
literally
you also have to admit that what we're talking about, there's no way to conclusively conduct a study on that level where you're comparing wealthy men who keep their sex life secret for obvious reasons versus a regular dude and or a lower socioeconomic male. Like you can't, that study would never pass any type of ethical
Wait,
guidelines.
hold on. You literally can check who has more children. You
Bro,
can
you
break it down by
fuck
income.
40 Discord girls a month, but when you were a carpet cleaner, you barely had one.
Emotional damage.
Being a mother is not a 50-50 proposition.
100%.
Why not? Why don't you love my child like I love my child?
Here's why. Because if you look at a lot of women who go to work,
Your semen
hang
made
on,
it.
hang on. Whoa. If a woman's going to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week with young children, what do they leave them alone in the house, or they have to take them
You
to
get
daycare?
an au pair.
They got to take them to an au pair. You think? Okay, there we
Well,
go.
once a child turns 5 or 6, the kid's at school, right? That's usually when the parents start working again.
No, but I'm talking early
or
child. But I'm talking
daycare.
about like
I
from
work
0
from
to
home
4.
with my kids
Exactly.
at home.
Wait. But that's the point I'm making. It's daycare. Being a mother's a full-time job, and that proves it. Because if a woman's working, she's got to take the kids to daycare so someone else could be the mother.
Or
No,
3
but I
hours a
mean,
day.
usually
A
it's
man
like
could go and
school.
a
So
woman could
usually
go.
you don't start daycare until like 3 maybe, and then you're in school at 5.
But those
those
first 3
2
months
years-
are the most
3
important
months.
The
Yeah, you're
first 3
usually
months.
with your
Yeah,
child the
of
first
course,
3
you might have
months.
to
You're not in
breastfeed.
work the first
But I
3
worked
months.
from
and-
home.
Early,
in those
I'm
days.
talking about,
hang
like,
on,
3
hang on.
years
Okay.
old.
You know, it's amazing how everyone starts. It's a touchy subject because women don't like to think about this. Children want their mothers to be around. It's essential in the first 3 months. It is critical after that. And yeah, children go to school and everything, but if a man and woman are married and if they're having sex the right way, which is without birth control and contraceptives, you're supposed to have multiple kids. And so if you've got multiple kids coming out all the time, some of them are going to have to be in daycare. And I remember even when I was going to kindergarten or first grade, you know, we got off of school at 3:00. And the kids that their mom was working, they had to go to daycare, after school daycare. Couldn't see their mom until 5. And it's almost like the kid is working a full-time job because they get dropped off at school at 7, picked up at 5. They do their homework. They were really only with their parents for like 4 hours of the day before they have to go to bed and start all over again. And that's a child's life. What is a more important job for a mother to have than to be there for her children at their youngest age?
Oh, give the man a bloody medal!
That's where I'm coming from. That's why it's a full-time job. I'm not saying don't love your kid. I'm just saying it's a full-time job.
What you just said, like, a lot of children actually really like extended care and after hours of school because it's a time to play with other kids.
That's crazy.
Not everybody. I know it's
No,
crazy to you.
that is
I don't know
not
if you like
crazy.
weird. That's not crazy weird.
Boys
The
and
idea that
girls
like I want to go right home to my house and I want to sit in my house and stare at my fucking mom all day. Most kids when they're 5, 6, 7 actually do like playing after school with kids. Sometimes some of the most fun you have. Yeah, maybe you didn't have any friends in school, but for the rest of us that did, it's actually nice to be able to play with them after class. Yeah.
Well, you don't play
disagree.
any sport.
Destiny is missing, and ignoring Nick's point about how the mom being there for the child is off the table if she's at work. If the child is playing with other kids and gets injured or sick or needs their mom certain days for whatever reason, because they're still a little kid. If the mom has a full-time job, then she's not a full-time mom who's always going to be able to be there for her kids. Something important is now lost, and they're going to be raised by fucking daycare workers instead of their own mom who should be nurturing them instead. And by the way, this is how your child gets brainwashed, but that's a whole other topic.
My mother was a full-time mom and a full-time she works as an attorney. She had a full-time job and she was home every day and she cooked me dinner but I still had to go to soccer practice. I still had to do a lot of things after school.
So she
I was
wasn't
busy.
full time.
She was
That's the truth.
full-time.
No, she
I was
wasn't. Your mom
busy.
failed you. That's why you're on this podcast.
Wait, what do you guys think
mom
5, 6,
did?
7-year-old kids do after school? I want to hear that. I'm so fucking curious
Go
right
home
now.
and play.
But that's
What,
here's
play
the
what,
thing.
video games? Watch TV?
What
Play
about
outside
the
in
men
the
who
yard.
can't?
Here's the
Play,
thing.
so what's the difference between
Hang on,
playing
hang on,
outside
hang on.
with other kids and
Hang
going
on.
to daycare?
Hang on. That's a total diversion from what we're talking about.
It's literally not. We were literally talking about
It
after school
absolutely is. It
extended care or
absolutely is.
daycare.
Because here's the fundamental point, which I keep trying to make, but for whatever reason, it's just like flying over everybody's head. If the mother is working, this is time away from her being a mother. It's less hours with the child. Well, I mean, and you can say, wait, hang on. And you can say, oh, well, so what? You can say that. So what? The kid is playing fucking soccer or whatever.
Yeah.
You can say that. But those are hours that a mother literally cannot be there for the kid because they're at work.
Sure. So you're saying when a kid is 5, 6, 7 years old, it's more important for the kid to go home and be with his mom than to play with other kids after school?
I think it's essential for the mother to be there for the kids all day.
I'm gonna
Nick
keep
ran
that. Okay, let me
straight
ask that one
home
more
and
time. No,
sucked his mom's
wait.
tit.
I want to hear that one more time. So for a 5 years and older, you think it's more important for that kid to go home and be with his mom than it is for them to play with other kids after school?
I think it's less important 5 years and up, but if you're talking about K through 5 or 0 to 5 years old, what woman could
No one
take-
is talking
hang on,
0 to 5.
that is what I talked
So
about.
then you
If
should very
rewind the
easily
tape.
answer my question and say, no, Destiny, when they hit 5, when they're going to school, it's probably better for them to play with kids after school than
No,
go with their
Cuck.
mom.
What I said initially is that from 0 to 5, these are critical years. I said the first 3 months are essential. 0 to 5 is critical. And a woman can't take 5 years off of a full-time job to be there for a kid. So a daycare worker or somebody is going to have to step in. And this is what I'm talking about, priorities.
You
We're talking
still
about
haven't
two-
answered my
hang on.
question. It's so simple.
You don't
From
answer my
5 and above-
stupid
listen up.
question.
Okay,
You don't
come
answer
on,
my
you can
stupid
do it.
logical
Hey,
fallacy
listen,
diversion.
it's
I'm
not a
trying to make
logical
an
fallacy.
argument.
This is
I'm
such a
constructing
simple
an argument.
question.
I'm constructing an argument.
Maybe I can ask the women if you don't understand.
I'm
That's like,
constructing an argument. Why would I ask someone
Why
that's
do you
inferior
need-
intelligence to me a question?
Right.
inferior
So,
intelligence.
let me
okay,
jump
it's a
in, okay?
25-year-old virgin
Let me
gay guy.
jump
Go
in.
ahead.
24-year-old virgin.
Go
And that's
ahead.
what God calls us to do.
Go
You're
ahead,
a 34-year-old cuck.
You're only
And you're
virgin because anal
homosexual.
sex. You're only
And
a virgin
you
because getting
literally said
fucked
to
in
us
the ass
other
doesn't
day,
count to you
you're
for
like,
losing
you're
virginity.
talking about hooking up
Keep
with
on
guys on
going.
Grindr
Keep on
yesterday or
going.
Sneak us. I don't know. You're not going to win that
Destiny,
one.
what was the question again?
The question is, if a kid is 5 years and older, they're going to school, whenever they start kindergarten, first grade, is it better for them right after school to go home and be with mom or to play with other kids for an hour or two at like extended
But
care?
that's not what we're talking about. We're not
Do you see how he
talking
can't
about
answer the question?
Because, but this is what you do. You ask a stupid, and then he throws
It's
his
such
head
an
up and
easy
laughs.
answer. Yeah, you can keep pointing it up.
I'm
you can't answer the
incapable of
question.
having an adult
Because you know that the question
conversation.
defeats your entire fucking worldview.
And
It's like
I'm about
based
to
on
explain.
nothing.
You have to
You
keep
were a kid
interrupting
that
me.
went to school
You
with
have
no
to keep
fucking
interrupting
friends.
me.
You're a
So
fucking
I can't-
homo. You're a
There
virgin.
it
We've
is.
all seen the
There it is.
pictures, Nick. Like, there's a reason why you can't engage with the question. Sorry,
The
Myron, go
personal
ahead.
attacks don't work. when you're a
After you
cock
screamed at me,
homosexual.
cuck over and over again.
That's what you are. That's what you are.
Destiny is the proof that many men have become betas. They justify cheating, open relationships, and even become argumentative like women. Instead of shutting the fuck up and listening, he only talks and talks to cut Nick off. When Destiny talks about poor people, he might refer to regions in the world where the family unit is really a thing. Latin America, Asia, Africa, etc. In those places, since there's no welfare state, it's better for families to have many children to be taken care of once they get old. Now, in the Western world, many men work their asses off, so they don't want to lose all their money because a goddamn chick decides to dump them out of the blue while everything seems to be fine. Add in, look, we supposedly live in the age of tolerance, so Destiny tries to defend all these values. Why the hell does he call Nick a virgin? Who cares about what he does in bed? The ad hominem attack was real. Nick is a man of God, so if he prefers not to sleep around, thus having a low body count, it's all good. At least he ain't getting an STD like Destiny getting run through, if you know what I mean. Let's check some comments. Destiny is a very sick individual. You can see exactly when he tried to lure Nick into debate because he wasn't satisfied debating with Myron. He gets some sort of sick satisfaction, trying to make Nick angry but fails so miserably. You're a virgin, you're a virgin. You're a cuck homosexual. Owned. It's funny how people like Destiny, who support the idea that it's absolutely vile to shame a woman for being a slut, don't think twice before trying to shame a man for being a virgin. Clown world. These people treat shameful action as virtuous and virtue as sin. Whoever agree with this idiocy is wrong in the head. The only surprise is that people indulge these idiots and let them think they are right. Cowardice is so rampant that people agree with lunacy just to not get on blast. In a nutshell, Destiny argues with data, you have to believe him. You counter with stronger data, he gaslights everyone. He's just a child, guys.
Guys, thanks for checking out this video. Stay tuned for more daily content. Like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.